An ordinary drive home leads a wealthy tycoon into a world he never knew existed, and a choice that will change his life forever. It was a typical Friday afternoon when James Montgomery, a wealthy real estate tycoon, found himself taking an unusual route home. His personal chauffeur, Henry, suggested the detour due to heavy traffic, and without much thought, James agreed. They passed through a part of town that was unfamiliar to James, a place where sidewalks were cracked, houses were worn, and playgrounds had seen better days. As they drove by, something caught James's attention, a pair of children sitting under a large oak tree in a small park. They weren't playing. Instead, they were sitting quietly, a sight that was out of place for kids of their age. A young boy, about 6 years old, sat close to a tiny girl of about 2, who clutched a worn-out teddy bear in her small hands. Something tugged at James's heart, and he instructed Henry to stop the car. Despite Henry's hesitation, James stepped out and approached the children. The boy, initially startled by the sight of the well-dressed man, quickly relaxed when he noticed the gentle smile on James's face. "Hello there," James said softly, kneeling down to the boy's eye level. "Where's your family?" The boy shrugged, glancing protectively at his little sister. "We don't have any. It's just us, me and Naya," he said, nodding toward the girl who held her teddy bear even tighter. James's heart sank as he realized the gravity of the situation. These children were alone. Without a second thought, James offered the kids a ride to somewhere safer. At first, the boy hesitated, a deep mistrust evident in his eyes, likely forged from hard experiences. But the look in James's eyes, a kindness that was undeniable, made him agree. They climbed into the back of the sleek black car, with Naya resting in the middle, holding her bear tightly. As they drove, James learned more about them. The boy's name was Kyle, and his little sister was indeed Naya. They had been fending for themselves ever since their mother had gone missing 2 weeks ago. They didn't know where she went, and no one seemed to care. James made a silent vow to help them, though he had no idea just how much his life was about to change because of it. James brought the children to his estate, where he immediately contacted his lawyer and local authorities. The investigation into the children's mother began, and the trail was cold. Days passed, and despite his best efforts, the authorities found nothing. During this time, the kids began to trust James more. He arranged for tutors to come to the house to help with Kyle's education, and he ensured Naya was cared for with toys and activities suited to her age. The more time he spent with them, the more he grew attached. Then one evening, something unexpected happened. Kyle, who had been mostly quiet, approached James in his study. "Mr. Montgomery, I need to show you something." James followed the boy to the small room the children shared, where Kyle pulled out a small crumpled piece of paper hidden under Naya's teddy bear. "We found this the day Mama disappeared," Kyle said. James unfolded the note, his brow furrowing as he read the cryptic message. "The key is where the past meets the present. You must go back to move forward." James was intrigued but confused. What could this possibly mean? He shared the note with his lawyer, who suggested that it might be a clue by the children's mother. After some deliberation, they concluded that the message referred to something in the past, perhaps a place or a person from the mother's history. James hired a private investigator to dig into the mother's past. It didn't take long before they discovered that she had once lived in a small town not too far from the city. James, along with Kyle, set out to visit the town, leaving Naya in the care of his trusted housekeeper. When they arrived, an elderly woman recognized Kyle immediately. "You're Sarah's boy, aren't you?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I remember her, but she left here long ago. and no one has heard from her since. James and Kyle searched the small town, following clues left behind in old letters and photographs they found in Sarah's former home. Eventually, they stumbled upon an abandoned warehouse where Sarah had once worked. Inside, they discovered an old chest, locked and hidden beneath a pile of debris. Kyle handed James the key they found in their mother's belongings, which fit perfectly into the chest's lock. Inside the chest, they found stacks of documents that revealed the real reason Sarah had disappeared. She had uncovered evidence of corruption at the company where she worked, dangerous people were involved, and she had gone into hiding to protect her children. James immediately contacted his lawyer, and together they handed over the evidence to the authorities. It took weeks of investigation, but eventually the corrupt individuals were arrested. Sarah was found, safe but scared, in a remote safe house she had fled to after receiving threats. The day Sarah was reunited with her children was one James would never forget. The gratitude in her eyes and the joy on the children's faces made every sleepless night and stressful day worth it. But something more had happened during those weeks. James, a man who had spent most of his life focused on wealth and status, had found something far more valuable: family, love, and the power of kindness. He became a permanent figure in the children's lives, helping Sarah rebuild her life while staying connected to Kyle and Naya. Together, they formed an unlikely but unbreakable bond, a testament to how small acts of kindness can unravel the most profound mysteries and transform lives. Hey, this is Guiding Light Inspirational Stories. Thank you for watching. You are awesome.